The worst blizzard New England had seen in 2 decades was bearing down on us. And at 3 a.m., I was already wide awake, staring at the Weather Channel's radar screen glowing red and purple like a bruise across the sky. The meteorologist's voice had that edge of excitement you only hear when something truly historic is coming. 2 feet already on the ground in Burlington, and the storm was heading straight for Evergreen Hollow, the tidy planned community in Chittenden County where I'd lived for the past 5 years. My name is David Harlan, and I own Harlan Snow Services, the only independent snow removal outfit that reliably covers this part of the county. I walked away from a steady corporate job in Boston years ago. 6 figures, corner office, the whole package, for diesel fumes, early mornings, and the simple satisfaction of getting people unstuck when nature decides to bury them. Most folks thought I was nuts. I thought I was finally doing something real. The phone started ringing at 3:15. First the elementary school principal, then the grocery store manager, then the urgent care clinic. By 4 a.m., I had 17 voicemails and my thumbs were sore from texting back. The wind was howling so hard it rattled the windows like someone was trying to break in. I pulled on my insulated coveralls, grabbed my keys, and stepped into the cold. -5 degrees, wind chill closer to -30. Snow was piling up fast, 4 inches since midnight, and it wasn't slowing down. My truck is a 2024 Ford F-450 Super Duty, 9-foot Western plow blade customized to my specs, LED light bars that turn night into day, and a salt spreader big enough to treat 3 miles of road. I sank $45,000 into the setup and another $20,000 into the backup rig in the garage. These machines are my life, and I treat them like family. I hit the urgent care first. Emergency access doesn't wait. The parking lot was a mess, cars buried to the doors. 90 minutes later, the main lanes and ambulance paths were clear. Staff waved from the windows. One doctor brought out a thermos of coffee. My fingers were numb despite the gloves. By 7, I'd cleared the school, 2 grocery stores, and the main roads into the commercial district. The snow kept falling. Heavy, wet stuff that snaps branches and threatens roofs. My phone buzzed nonstop. Desperate folks needed driveways cleared, businesses opened, elderly parents dug out. I was working a steep stretch on Maple Lane when the call came that changed everything. It was Ellen Ramirez from Willow Creek Nursing Home. Her voice trembled. "David, we have an emergency. One resident is having a heart attack. The ambulance can't get through. Our access road is blocked solid. County plows are tied up on highways." My stomach dropped. "I'm 20 minutes out. Hang on." I flipped on the flashers and pushed the truck hard. The nursing home sat at the end of a quarter-mile private drive through woods. When I arrived, a huge pine had come down under the weight, and behind it was a 5-foot drift. The ambulance sat at the entrance, lights flashing, paramedics helpless outside. No time to waste. I dropped the blade and started pushing, taking it in layers, backing up and ramming forward. The engine roared with effort. 40 minutes later, I'd cleared enough path for the paramedics to chainsaw the tree with help from the home's maintenance shed. We opened a lane just wide enough for the ambulance to squeeze through. I followed, clearing the parking lot so they could get back out. 18 minutes after they went in, they emerged with an elderly man on a gurney, oxygen mask on. The lead paramedic gave me a thumbs up as they loaded him and drove off. Ellen came out as I finished the entrance. Tears streamed down her face. "You saved his life, David. If they couldn't reach him." I told her it was just my job, but inside the weight settled. This was why I did what I did. By noon, I'd been at it 8 hours straight. Back aching, eyes burning from white-on-white glare, 2 thermoses of coffee down. Snow still falling. Forecast said another 6 inches before evening. I needed fuel, food, a break. I pulled into the gas station on Route 7. While the tank filled, I grabbed a sandwich and chips. The clerk, a kid named Tyler, looked beat. "You're a lifesaver, man." My mom called from Evergreen Hollow. Said you cleared her street this morning. She's got physical therapy tomorrow. She'll actually make it. Evergreen Hollow. My own neighborhood. In the chaos, I hadn't thought about it yet. I lived in the Cedar Ridge section, one of 3 subdivisions in the planned community run by the Evergreen Hollow Homeowners Association, a group that had been a headache since day one. Rules for everything. house colors, grass height, parking, mailboxes. I've been fined for leaving my work truck in the driveway overnight, for a small oil spot visible when the garage door was open, for hanging Christmas lights 2 days early. The HOA president was Susan Whitaker, sued to her friends, if she had any. 52, drove a white Lexus RX, and seemed determined to enforce every line in the 73-page covenant book. I'd read it twice. Sue had targeted my plow truck for months. She claimed commercial vehicles violated the residential character. Never mind the doctor's wrapped SUV or the contractor's van 3 doors down. My truck was an eyesore, she said. The board sided with her 3-2. I've been ordered to remove it or face escalating fines and legal action. No storage nearby fit my budget. $800 a month for a spot bigger than my mortgage payment. I explained that during storm season, quick access could mean life or death. She said that wasn't her concern. Rules were rules. So I'd squeeze the truck into my garage, tight fit, everything else moved out. Backup stayed at a friend's place outside the development. Inconvenient, but it kept Sue quiet. That afternoon, driving back into Evergreen Hollow, the place looked bad. Private roads untouched. Cars buried. Neighbors out shoveling in the blizzard, futile work. I saw Bill Thompson, retired teacher, red-faced and winded. Young Sarah Mitchell with her newborn, digging one-handed. Old Mr. Singh, pushing 80, chipping ice on his steps. My street, Pinecrest Drive, was impassable. I pulled up to my house, stared at the garage. Dropping the plow to clear my driveway would technically violate rules. Commercial activity in residential zone. But it was 1 in the afternoon, emergency conditions. I made the call. I cleared my driveway, then the neighbors on either side. The Thompsons were hospital workers stuck at work. The Carters elderly and shouldn't be shoveling. 40 minutes total. As I finished, Sue's Lexus crept down the street. She stopped, hazards on, stepped out in designer boots and a fur-trimmed parka. Blonde hair in a tight bun, lips pursed. "Mr. Harlan," she called, sharp over the wind. "What do you think you're doing?" I climbed down. "Clearing snow, Sue. Blizzard, remember? You're operating a commercial vehicle in violation of covenants." She pulled out her phone, snapping photos. "This is commercial snow removal in a residential zone during restricted hours. It's my driveway, and helping neighbors. No one's paying me. Your neighbors' driveways, too. Are they paying?" "No, I'm being decent. The covenants are clear. Commercial vehicles not permitted. You've been warned." Anger rose hot. "Sue, streets are blocked. If someone needs an ambulance, they can't get through. County won't plow private roads soon. Our contracted service, Premier Snow Management, is coming. I've called them." Premier was big, 30 trucks, mostly commercial. Spread thin in big storms. They'll be slammed. We could wait 12, 24 hours. Then we wait. Cease operating, or I'll issue a fine and call for emergency towing. Towing? In a blizzard? You're serious? Tow the only plow here because of technicality? It's the covenant you signed. My phone rang. Hospital again, fire station next. I had to choose. Fine. Have it your way. When folks are trapped, that's on you. I left, anger simmering. The next 6 hours were brutal. Fire station, hospital lot, medical offices, churches turned warming centers. Phone never stopped. Backup truck too far. By 7 p.m., snow stopped. 31 inches total, drifts 6 feet. Temp -12, wind, chill, -40. I'd plowed 16 hours straight. Hands locked, shoulders screaming. Heading back, I saw trouble at the main entrance. Dozen cars backed up, people outside arguing in the cold. Massive drift blocked the road. No one in or out. Neighbors recognized me, relief on their faces. Sarah begged, "David, please, my baby's freezing." Sue stood defiant in front of her Lexus. "Premier is on the way. We have procedures. Can't let just anyone plow." I called Mike Torres at Premier. He sounded fried. "David, we're 24 hours behind. Won't reach Evergreen Hollow till tomorrow afternoon, maybe evening." I related. Crowd turned angry. Bill stepped up. "Sue, this is ridiculous. David's right here. Let him clear it. Liability. Insurance. Covenants." Sarah's voice broke. My baby is freezing. Then Mr. Singh slumped in his car. Unconscious. Pulse weak. Hypothermic. Call 911. Someone did. We got him into a warm car, blankets piled on. Ambulance coming, but road blocked. 30 minutes or more. Sue's face drained. For the first time, uncertainty. Clear the road, she said quietly. What? Please clear the road, David. I didn't hesitate. Drop the blade, attack the drift. 3 passes to break through, then widen for emergency vehicles. 20 minutes. Ambulance arrived 18 minutes later. They treated Mr. Singh, core temp dangerously low. Said waiting longer could have been fatal. After they left, crowd dispersed. Sue approached, smaller somehow. Thank you for Mr. Singh. I nodded, too tired and angry for more. I'd like to discuss snow removal. Perhaps an arrangement. You clear tonight. We address covenants later. But the streets. Wait for premiere. That's what you wanted. She followed me to the truck. What will it take? In writing. Covenant amendment exempting snow equipment in winter emergencies. All my fines refunded. Formal board apology for harassment. And you personally apologize to Mr. Singh and his family. Your stubbornness nearly killed him. She flinched but nodded. Done. Emergency board meeting tonight. Drafted by tomorrow. And if the board doesn't follow through, I'll move. Explain why the only plow left. I went home, ate leftover pizza, down coffee. Every muscle screamed, but I'd given my word. At 9 p.m., I started clearing systematically. Cedar Ridge first, then the rest. Neighbors came out with hot chocolate food. Bill rode along, pointing worse spots. Sue's been on thin ice, he said. Obsessed with rules. Forgot what an HOA's for. Making community better, not a prison. By midnight, Cedar Ridge done. Hallucinating from exhaustion. Finished the last section at 5:30 a.m. Sun rose pink and gold over snow. I parked, collapsed on the couch in boots, asleep instantly. Woke to pounding at 1 p.m. Bill at the door with lasagna from his wife. Sue had called emergency meeting, resigned gracefully. Board refunded fines, apologized. Sue went door to door apologizing, issuing refunds. One neighbor, lawyer Tom Riley, researched. Vermont law barred HOAs from interfering with emergency access during declared emergencies. Governor had declared one pre-storm. Sue's towing threat potentially illegal. Fiduciary breach may be criminal. Tom said I had a strong case. I passed. She'd resigned. Covenants fixed. Enough. 3 weeks later, community meeting. Bill outlined reforms. Covenant book cut to 32 pages. Petty rules gone. Common sense emergency exceptions. Fine structure educational. Term limits. Emergency response plan. Designated me primary snow contractor. Paid from maintenance budget. Sue approached after. David, I owe you a real apology. I was wrong about the truck, the fines, the storm. I focused on standards, forgot people matter more. My marriage ended 2 years ago. Kids gone. HOA gave purpose. I abused it. No excuse. I'm in therapy, reconnecting with family, learning to be part of the community without controlling it. We shook hands. Not full forgiveness yet, but a start. Months passed. Evergreen Hollow changed. Rules fair. Board listened. Events frequent. Sue volunteered, book club, yard sales, food bank. Seemed happier. My business boomed. Word spread. Hired drivers. Bought another truck. Maple Ridge contract reliable. Next winter mild. I cleared streets before folks woke. Reliable, expected. 1 year anniversary, community party. Photo collage of storm, my truck. Bill, you reminded us communities are about people helping people. Sue brought cookies. Dating a neighbor, Gary. Thanks to you in part. I laughed. You found your way back. 3 years later, bigger storm, 38 inches. We were ready. Coordinated plan, county partnership, meet designated responder. Streets passable. Warming station at clubhouse. News covered coordinated response. Evergreen Hollow example of good HOA management. Years on, the place thrived. People knew, neighbors looked out. Covenants reviewed yearly, updated with input. Fines rare. Sue and Gary married. Neighborhood wedding. I stood in crowd, watching vows. Adversaries once, now neighbors. I married Emily, vet tech who understood emergencies. She moved in, cats and all. Small clubhouse ceremony, everyone invited. Sue helped organize. Life settled. Winter's work, summer's maintenance, Vermont beauty. Storms came, we handled them. The plow sat in my driveway, unchallenged symbol. Kids drew pictures, Mr. David's super truck. What started as conflict became catalyst. Rigid rules nearly cost lives. Confrontation forced change. People mattered more than policies. If you're reading this, think about your own life. Have you seen injustice? Rules enforced blindly, power abused, people hurt? Stood up? Let it slide? Share in the comments. What's your take on standing against unfair authority when it endangers others? Have you faced something similar? Your stories matter. Let's hear them.